Jason Kelce with us coming up in just a minute. Hey, you've heard me talking a lot about Gran Coramino Tequila from Kevin Hart, obviously big fan of the Birds. And Gran Coramino Tequila, official luxury tequila of the Birds. And they are taking over game days. Did my voice just crack? It might have. They are taking over game days all over the place, including at 25 PJ Wheelahan locations in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. That's unbelievable. Make sure you check out the new 55 Saccharita cocktail named after Brandon Graham, and he's very aligned with Gran Coramino as well. Crafted with Gran Coramino's Ultra Smooth Tequila. And pair it with new PJ's sample platter featuring their all-star lineup of appetizers. It's all awesome. Gran Coramino Tequila and the Birds on game day, hopefully going to 3-0 this weekend at PJ Wheelahan's. Get yourself to pjspub.com. That's pjspub.com. Celebrate responsibly. Our guy, Jason Kelce. Jason, good morning, bud.
Good morning. How we doing, Joe?
I'm good, pal. Man, Tush Push, you've been talking about it and talking about it.
Plenty of news cycle on the Tush Push.
You a little tired of it?
I've been tired of talking about the Tush Push.
I'm sure.
For multiple seasons now, for sure.
We don't have to do the deepest. I can only imagine, man. I mean, it's just...
You did it in front of owners.
The funny thing about the recent news cycle is that it actually has nothing to do with the pushing portion. And that was a point I tried to make earlier in the week. Previously it's been like competitive advantage pushing, which if that's your argument, I understand that viewpoint.
And that is my argument. I just don't like the push.
It used to be illegal.
Right.
You used to not be able to assist the runner. Yeah. I get that. If that's why you want to ban it, it's hard for me to argue other than they changed the rule for a reason and it is what it is right now. But the argument about player safety, obviously there's absolutely zero statistical data to make that argument. So if you want to do that, that's pure speculation. And then recently the offsides and false starts, which I tried to articulate, even if the Eagles go up there and do a normal quarterback sneak, that same issue is going to be there. That has nothing to do with the pushing portion. Yep. So, it's just been a fun overreaction from the media in general because a bunch of people stirred up on Twitter and they know that by releasing sound bites, they'll then get views and clicks and likes. And it's been fun to watch take place for sure.
Do you think when there's so many bodies in there, more than the normal alignment, when it's so scrunched, do you think 40 yards over, whatever, John, 53 yards across the field?
53 and a half.
So about 25 over from the end.
53 yards. It's about 70 feet, I think I did the math. Something like that.
Do you think
it's hash to the sideline, which is typically where the ball's at.
Gotcha. Do you think it's harder for the officials to see it if there's
more bodies?
16 bodies instead of 10?
Of course, the more bodies that are on the line of scrimmage. And this is I still don't think it's going to be that much. If you're running a regular quarterback sneak without people pushing, there's still going to be that same issue of neutral zone judging.
It should be clean, though. I mean, a neutral zone's a neutral zone. It
should be. This is something that gets taken advantage of throughout the game, though. And it doesn't get highlighted often, but we send clips in every week of D linemen in the neutral zone on short yardage plays or third down plays, whether it's ends or one techniques or two eyes. Everybody, the tackle being on the ball, not only is neutral zone something that they struggle to officiate, but the tackle being on the line of scrimmage is something made a point of emphasis. The reality is there's a gamesmanship that's happening throughout the game.
So says the center who would move the ball forward before the snap. You ever notice that, James? Somehow the Eagles gained a half a yard before the play even began. I'm just saying I saw it happen.
Listen, if the ball moves around a little bit, it's purely
kind of fun.
Coincidental.
By accident.
Every player that has ever played in the NFL is utilizing any advantage that they can garner through some level of gamesmanship, whether it's a DB holding a wide receiver on a route, an offensive lineman holding, a defensive lineman holding on a game. All of these things, you're trying to push the envelope of what you can get away with to maximize your opportunity to have success. The Eagles are going to be under a huge scrutiny moving forward, and then they've already been. I mean, this pops up, right? I remember 2 years ago, there was a lot of noise about the Eagles being in the neutral zone on the Tush Push, and we got a bunch of penalties where the officials thought it was Landon Dickerson's hand, but it was actually my hand in the neutral zone. We had 3 called penalties that were not penalties because, again, the other teams throw in the tape, and they're like, listen, Landon Dickerson in the neutral zone. So what do? We move Landon out of the neutral zone, but now the officials are looking to call it, and I'm allowed in the neutral zone as a center. I get into a 4-point stance, and they all thought that my left hand was Landon's hand. We had 3 penalties called that really weren't penalties.
Wow.
So this is going to happen. We're going to have some called on us that aren't deserved, and we're just going to have to know that that's being called because we pushed the envelope too much, and the league is now trying to make amends and prevent us and other teams from exploiting this to this extent.
Yeah.
But the neutral zone thing is very difficult. They're 70 feet away. Where that thing starts at is very difficult to gauge, and that happens not just on quarterback sneaks, but obviously on a quarterback sneak, you're trying to take the space away as much as possible. Both teams are. So both teams are really infringing on the neutral zone to whatever degree they're going to be allowed to.
Well, fascinating details from Jason, who, by the way, is brought to us, as always, by his beer. The garage is always open with Garage Beer. Light beer like it used to be, light beer like it is with Garage Beer. Find Garage Beer at your local retailer or online at garagebeer.com, official beer of the Kelce brothers and dads everywhere. All right, let's get a lot of calls in here. We got a ton to do with Jason. Obviously, the Eagles, riding pretty high. Now, look, frustration with the offense, very clear. One of the things we've been discussing today, have we been too hard on the Eagles so far out of the gate this year? Rhea, have we? Been a lot of negative calls. A lot of hosts, myself included, have had negative comments. I do try to come back a lot and say, but they're 2-0, but the defense is better than I thought. They're playing great on that side. Have we, the collective, been too hard, Rhea?
No, not at all. Notice you waited until almost 2 hours in the show to ask me that.
I think we knew the answer coming regardless.
This is true. And here's the point is, I don't think we've been hard on because if you listen to the Eagles talk, they're hard on themselves. A.J. Brown says the criticism is fair. Jalen Hurts said expectations are fair. Nick said it hasn't been pretty. And if I'm not, I know Twitter is a different place.
Yeah.
But no one has called this radio station in 2 weeks and demanded that anybody be fired.
Not like last year.
No, not like last year. So I think I think we all looked at the first game and said it was a weird, first half tremendous.
Right.
Jalen looked great.
Yep.
The second half was a mess because of the delay. And the Chiefs game was going to be difficult. But, I just think it's fair to say there haven't been. The passing game is not, but the passing game, there was problems with it last year.
No, it's been pedestrian. All right, well, look, we ask you if you think we, the collective, maybe me individually, some of us individually, all of us as a fan base, have we been a little hard on the Eagles out of the gate? Because they are 2-0.
Are you feeling guilty, Joe?
No. So I'll say, I think I've been a little hard. No, I don't feel guilty. I mean, critical analysis, John. There's analysis, and then there's what the hammer provides, Jason. Critical analysis. It's like Jason is the center. You think he was happy with every play? No. He said, let's buckle down, boys. Yeah. All I'm saying is let's buckle down, boys. Now, Jason had a little bit more standing to make that comment.
I'm very pro Philadelphia media being very honest with their sports teams. I think that in general, it pushes a lot of the times the envelope, and I've seen that in the building, that it has an effect on people to make corrections and make change. And I think it's actually one of Philadelphia's media landscape strengths. It's very frustrating to go through at times as a player and an athlete in the city, or a coach, I'm sure. But the reality is, I do think the net gain from it, where you can't fall asleep in the city. You are going to be getting crucified if you're not going out there and doing your job. And I think that does push people.
215-592-9490 for your chance to weigh in on all this. Also, let's give you the Twitter poll question of the day right now. We got a Phil's question. We got one of those phases where a Phil's loss doesn't really matter. I mean, they might not catch the Brewers, but they lost to the Dodgers last night. It's okay. Phil's are going to be at least a 2 seed. Nothing to complain about. But we do have what I think is an intriguing poll question about the playoffs and what could come thereafter. Twitter poll brought to us by Armin Chevrolet. Do more and get more in a 2026 Armin Chevrolet Trailblazer, starting at only $24,495. Together, let's drive. See Armin's inventory at arminchevy.com. It's a little bit of a thought provoker. Is Rob Thompson's job for next year safe regardless of the outcome of the playoffs? Put another way, this team that's flying high, that he's going to guide to about 95 to 98 wins this year, is his job safe if they lose in their first playoff round? Yes or no? You can vote at Sportsradio WIP on Twitter, and certainly weigh in on the phone lines as well. All the calls coming up with Jason here coming up in just 1 minute.
If you spent time building the right roster and earning the fans, then you need the best technology to back it all up. Get rid of those flimsy tablets and slow computers and step up to the game changer and point-of-sale solutions for restaurants and bars, PDQ POS. Imagine a seamless and lightning-fast checkout experience for your customers that saves you money by cutting out those costly fees. Their state-of-the-art technology ensures that transactions are swift, secure, and hassle-free, but that's not all. PDQ Signature Systems is not just a POS system, it's a complete business management solution. Keep track of your inventory, easily manage your staff, and use real-time analytics to optimize your sales. Their user-friendly interface makes it simple for anyone to navigate. Join the thousands of companies that have already made the switch and upgrade to PDQ Signature Systems. Whether you have one restaurant or hundreds, PDQ will customize a POS solution for your specific needs. Upgrade to the professional point of sale. Visit pdqpos.com. That's pdqpos.com.
All right, on this Thursday morning with the Birds 2-0, Jason in studio with us. Get a lot of calls in here. Talk to Paul in Downingtown. Good morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. And one of the things I love the most about sports radio is that a soda drinker like me gets to talk to a Super Bowl champion. And, so first of all, because this is an honor for me, and I haven't got to do it before, thank you for your work in the community, your charitable work. Thank you for your speech on the Art Museum steps. Thank you for your dedication to our football team. And thank you for bringing home the first Super Bowl championship in the history of the franchise.
There you go. Thank you very much, Paul. Honor's all mine to talk to a soda drinker.
You don't talk to many, do you, Jason?
Not very often.
Yeah, so you guys are over there with beers, and I'm over here with a pop. But, anyway. I'll say this. First of all, how about Schwartz, man? He's like he's going to bed every night with a lottery ticket whose value is yet to be determined. I mean, if I'm him, I'm sleeping with my bat, not my wife. What a lovely, lovely place for him to be in. It's just, golly. And, I kind of have two, I think, unpopular opinions. And the first one I'll get to is that I'd sign Topper right now. For me, he's a manager of the year kind of candidate. What he's done, especially down the stretch, reorganizing the outfield, getting strong with the Castellanos decision, helping to manage the path. You lose down the stretch. Your spark plug, the guy that led off the offense, made the whole thing go. You lose your very best arm to a terrible medical circumstance that has a psychological effect on your entire clubhouse. And you go on a run like this. That energy could have gone one of two ways. And Topper guided it in the most perfect way you possibly could. I don't know how he's not a manager of the year.
Well, Paul, there's no doubt he's done a great job. So there's no argument with what you're describing over the last 6 months, and especially the last month or two. But, there is the Dungy situation with the Bucs where they got rid of him after knocking on the door and not winning. And we know Middleton's competitive, and we know Topper's had some mistakes in October. So, I don't think it's 100% he's back. If they lose early, especially if he has one or two whopper of mistakes like he has had before, I think that could be problematic.
Yeah. And my second unpopular opinion is there's a lot of different ways to win a football game. And you do it as a team. And Jalen Hurts does that, in part just by being capital, by being on top of it and not making mistakes. But at the end of the day, like what it looks like to a lot of, soda drinkers like me, is that you have an offense that is like the parts are in A across the board. Your offensive line, your tight end, your wide receivers, your running back, it's all A-plus material. And oftentimes, at the end of the day, when you're looking at the stats, it's like the sum doesn't equal the parts. And it's because, in my opinion, he doesn't put the ball in harm's way. I'd rather have him pushing that ball downfield. I'd rather have this offense doing the kind of historic things that I imagine that it could do, like pushing 300 yards of passing almost every week, A.J. Brown and Smith out the butt, Barkley running for almost 100. You just can't stop this thing. How do you
Paul,
stop it
only if he can
only
if he can do it though without screwing it up. And I think he is playing to not. And then, by the way, they succeed that way. All right, Paul, I need an answer from you, buddy. What is satisfying?
All right, this is hard to explain, but I was recently on the turnpike where there's only two lanes, and this guy was playing captain safety, in the passing lane. And it took miles and miles and miles We're stuck behind this guy. Nobody's passing. A state policeman comes up, and I kind of think that me and all the people behind us are in trouble or something. He actually pulled over the guy that was playing, the safety captain, the guy that was going 65 miles an hour in the speeding lane and causing a delay. He pulled him over. I wanted to pull over and give that officer a round of applause and buy him a steak dinner.
I get it, man. That makes sense.
That is satisfying.
That would be satisfying. So, Jason, Eagles offense.
Sure.
It has looked this way. Why?
I think they're obviously they have a new change with a play caller, an offensive coordinator, and Kevin Patullo. I think that they, first of all, also played one of the best defenses over the last 2 years last week in Kansas City. I think we can sometimes overlook that because of the way the Super Bowl went and how lopsided that was. But the Chiefs are not a team that have let anybody offensively, especially coming into Arrowhead, come in and have a very easy day. I think that they've been great in certain situations. I think they've been really good in the red zone. I think that they've been good in third down conversions, which part of that is Tush Push related. But yeah, and even to start the game, I think a lot of the times there's like two different parts of the game plan. There's your starters that you come into the game with that are like, this is what we're expecting to see, and we have all these very specific plays that generate explosives and high-powered offense. And the first week, it went really well against Dallas. This last week, I thought the first play of the game, it looked like AJ's wide open. If they don't miss the corner blitzing on the nub side, they get that picked up, that might be a huge play down the field. So I think overall, it feels like it's just a little bit disjointed and guys are kind of missing here and there. But I still think there's a lot of optimism moving forward. They still have great players. The run game was a lot better this last week with Saquon and the offensive line. And I have a lot of confidence that the passing game will pick up.
Is the sluggishness thing real when you don't play in preseason games? Did you feel later in your career harder to get going week 1 and 2 than early when you were playing for Andy and you guys were playing preseason games?
The harder thing for weeks 1 through 4 that happened once you stopped doing as much preseason was actually your conditioning level. Because you don't realize it, but there's no amount of conditioning you can do really in practice or in the off season that can make you in shape for playing football games. And all training camp, a period, the ones, even in training camp, like a maximum amount of plays, unless you're doing like a long drive drill where they're purposely trying to build in conditioning, you're usually working in like 4 to 6 play racks, like 6 to 8 maybe, right? Where you're going to get six plays on average probably. Now you go into a game and I'll go back in practice. Maybe your max total reps for plays is 40, 30. Now all of a sudden you're going into a game.
Yeah.
You're playing 60 to 90 reps a game. You're going on 15 play drives. You're sitting in your stance, waiting there for the cadence and everything. Like, all of that does manifest for offensive linemen, specifically myself. And then I would have to assume, especially for one of the things that like make a passing game go is everybody be on the same page, timing, coordination. Like, I think that probably does factor in. And I also do think, there is something to being a play caller that Patullo is still navigating. I mean, it's his first time doing it.
Yep.
I know he's a great coach. I know he knows what to do in certain situations, and he's going to continue to improve. So I think all of that stuff is kind of being ironed out right now.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, we're going to give you, everyone listening, a name. And with that name, tomorrow on our show at 8 o'clock, you can win tickets to this Eagles-Rams game. Rhea, we love giving these tickets.
Yeah, courtesy of our great friends, great partner, NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy.
Make sure in the lead up to any Eagles home game, when it's a Sunday game, especially, the times are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 o'clock. Listen to those 4 days, those 4 times, and know the 4 names, and you can win tickets. So listen to the name coming up in 10 minutes. All these names that we're giving you this week tie into the Eagles and the Rams in big ways. Let's go to Joe in Mayfair right now. Joseph, good morning, bud.
Good morning, long time. Before I get into the Eagles passing game, the Phillies, I've been calling every now and then. I'm not a believer. I do believe Topper got this team through some adversity with some injuries this year. But again, the last 2 nights, you face Ohtani, you face Snell, you're going to face Yamamoto, you're going to face Kershaw probably out of the bullpen. They're not beating the Dodgers if they can't hit great pitching. and it's not Topper's fault. They don't have the players that can hit great pitching. I'm not a Topper fan. If he comes back, Schwarber comes back. If Topper's not coming back, I don't think Schwarber wants to start all over again. But I do think the hitting coach has to go, Kevin Long. Every time the Phillies have great pitching, they wet the bed.
Well, Joe, let me say this about him. More players have improved this year than regressed.
Also, the way you beat the Dodgers is their bullpen.
Pitching.
They have a bad bullpen. Like, that's the way to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah, I don't think
they won 2 or 3 out there.
I don't think that's fair on Kevin Long. I really don't. I mean, Castellanos has gotten worse, but he's supposed to because he's old.
Yeah, but guys, Ohtani's not only pitching 5 innings in the playoffs. He's not going to just pitch 5 innings.
Ohtani might be a reliever in the playoffs. They just put out there, buddy.
Yep.
Okay. You guys can believe in the Phillies. I hope they win the World Series and they get this off their back. I'm not a believer in this core. I'm just not.
Okay.
We can get the offense for the Eagles. It's the same. They're very predictable. You know when you have 2 tight ends running the football 90% of the time. They have 4 passing routes. They run slants. They run small.
Maybe they're setting everyone up now. Maybe now
sandbagging them, are they, John?
Zig.
No, it's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. They don't throw the ball between 15 and 25 yards between the hash marks. Jalen has a hard time seeing the field. If he can't see it, he's not throwing it. He's a shorter quarterback, and it's not his fault. He tries to master what he can, and the Eagles are very smart. They take what Jalen does best, and they use it.
I agree.
They don't put him in positions to make a bad throw or a turnover. He's a shorter quarterback. Shorter quarterbacks do not throw those intermediate routes. They don't run crossing routes. That's an issue with an offense with explosive plays. They're not an explosive offense. But I have to ask you guys, when is the last time the Eagles have been down in a game by more than a score that Jalen's on the field? To have to do that. You don't. If you're in close games and have the lead or you're behind by a score or less, why do you have to take chances on plays that you know that are iffy?
Joe, you're talking basically what Baldy said. I want to play this audio. Joe, hang on one second. Listen to this audio of Baldy this week on WIP.
Jalen just is not going to turn the ball over. Like, he'll be as conservative as possible. Those shots you could take against some of these umbrella defenses that they're seeing with the safeties back, there's shots you could definitely take in front of the safety. But he's just not risking it right now. And so he's not taking those throws that are there. And it's okay when you're playing with the lead and your defense is playing great and your special teams, your kickers making the kicks. But they're not even trying to be aggressive, Ike. I mean, it's 3rd and 13 last week. They just hand the ball off.
I was surprised at that.
They just handed off and punting.
Yeah.
Like that might change if they're playing from behind. So I think some of it is just dictated by the tempo of the game and the score of the game. And so I think that's part of it right now.
Yeah, Joe, you and Baldy are saying the same thing there, man.
There's like, and I understand it. It's. I'll use the analogy, and again, you guys are always harping me against the Phillies part. But if they beat the Dodgers and they only hit 1 home run in the 5-game series and they out small ball the Dodgers, are we complaining that the guys aren't hitting home runs, or are we celebrating that we actually won a best of 5 against great pitching?
Celebrating.
So what's the difference?
I'll tell you the difference. I believe what happened last year is an anomaly. I believe for this team to succeed for the next 10 years, the way the Chiefs did and the Patriots did, I believe the quarterback's got to get better. And I'm disappointed. Out of the gate this year. That's my opinion.
So you're telling me that the team has to be down by 7 to 14 points for them to open the offense up for that to happen?
Well, I'm telling you, he would be more inclined to do it. I mean, he would have to do it, and the coach would have to do it.
I don't want the team to be hit down 7 to 14 points.
Well, Joe, none of us do, but it's also inevitable at some point. At some point, you're going to have some roster depletion. At some point, you're going to have some injuries, and at some point, you're going to have some different game scripts here. But look,
and then when you have to do that, Jalen has done that. Bengals, Steelers, Super Bowl, and NFC Championship, but he doesn't have to do it. So
no, you're right about that, Joe. Give me an answer. What's satisfying?
Oh, it only happens once a year. And, Sunday comes out with the March Madness and you fill out your pool, and the anticipation to that Thursday when you order your wings and you get in front of the television for March Madness, it's very satisfying to watch it.
Yeah, 12 o'clock on Thursday. It's a good answer.
It's a shame they're increasing the field.
That's a joke, Rhea. I mean, they haven't
yet. To get you.
Are they doing it? I didn't see that.
Not official, but they're talking 96.
Yeah. Come on, dude.
I'm telling you, they're going to lose people.
Jason,
you a March Madness guy?
Love March Madness, yes.
Yeah.
It's the best part of the year for basketball just in general. Like, as much as I love the NBA too, like, there is nothing better than the first 2 rounds of March Madness.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's the most magical time of all time.
By the way, speaking of hoops, give me your opinion on this as an athlete, and John, you too, because I as a fan, I'm anti this, and this is geared for me and us that are fans.
Oh, I know where you're going with it.
Rhea.
You and I are going to be so on the opposite side of this.
All right, I think it's outrageous.
I love it. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. NBA was announced yesterday, starting with this upcoming season, for nationally televised games. I don't know if it's all of them, but for some nationally televised games.
It's going to be select, yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. On that are on Paramount, I believe.
They're going to have an analyst. Oh, Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock, I'm sorry.
They're going to have an analyst seated on the team's bench.
Yes.
Microphone, headset, commentating, able to listen to what the players say to each other, and able to put the head right into the huddle and listen to the coach address the team in a timeout. There are safeguards they say in place to not report what shouldn't be reported.
Oh, that
But
one.
I mean,
wonder how. I mean, what are they going to have?
Jason,
Fly? Like,
all right, Jason, Jason, your opinion?
Oh, I think that's a complete joke.
I do too.
Hey, those safeguards.
too, for what
those pretend safeguards? Like, what are they?
Well, basically, you can't say like the diagram of a play, but here's the problem.
I say as a player, I think it's a complete joke. As someone just watching the NBA, I cannot wait to hear what comes out.
See, that's to me as a viewer. And here's Joe. I'll say
I
this.
hear you, Ray. I know what you mean.
Joe, you did the Soul Games. You were the play-by-play guy.
Yes.
I was the sideline person, and I remember. I mean, we're going back 20 years ago when Bon Jovi earned it.
Sure.
And they said you're going to start interviewing the players when the quarterback comes off there. And I'm like, you want me to do what?
Right,
I was scared.
Yeah.
But that league was geared towards, they were just trying to do anything to get eyeballs on it.
That's right.
And
yeah.
it was fun.
It was.
I have to say, I was getting stuff, when they were mad, when they were happy, and it was like it provided a little bit more edge for me just doing the
for
sidelines.
sure.
And I liked it. But I think, can you imagine? And I forget where it might have been Crossing Broad. They were right. Can you imagine Doc Rivers sitting there?
I know.
I mean, I just think for a viewer, it's going to be gold.
No, it's gonna be
Absolute
great.
gold.
And I mean, listen, the NBA is trying to do anything they can right now to increase these ratings. They struggled last year, and they want those things higher. And listen, I can't wait to see what comes out of it. I'm very curious to see how those timeouts go compared to like NFL sideline timeouts. I'm very curious.
How about the players? It's 2 minutes left in the game and things are hot, and you look over and there's an analyst sticking his head in, and they're going to get out.
I also think it'll be good to a certain extent because at least for me watching the NBA, I think there's what I would like to see more is like that 90s mentality of like hatred between like teams. And like it feels like they're missing a little bit of that emotional competitive nature that makes sports really entertaining to watch. And maybe in these moments they'll capture more of that and it'll be like, oh yeah, these guys actually do care. They're not just out there collecting a paycheck. And I think that, I just think that this has a chance to maybe highlight some things that I think the NBA is missing a little bit.
Yeah. No, listen, I get what you're all saying. I mean, sure, I will say, of course, it's more entertaining for the viewer. But
it feels like it could be a hornet's nest.
Yeah, it just feels like a violation of the player's sanctity to me. I mean,
sure. And like things get said there that you don't want to be said publicly.
Not.
And I think there's power in being able to say something that you know is going to stay between you and maybe 4 or 5 other people.
Right.
There's
Jason,
a
I love the
little bit
video.
more candidness.
And I know you'll know. Well, I think you'll know this video.
Yeah.
When Peyton Manning was mic'd up and he's giving Saturday.
One of my favorite clips of all time.
And they're freaking out. He's freaking out at Saturday. And Saturday comes back, and then Peyton Manning realizes he's mic'd up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unbelievable.
That's a very good one. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of those, and that was even being mic'd up. That was something that I struggled with. Like, there was a moment. Malcolm Jenkins. We had what was it, Scandrick, Orlando maybe?
Orlando Scandrick.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
He went on and like crushed Malcolm on like ESPN or whatever, and then the Eagles released a couple days after that clips of him on the sideline talking to Malcolm and telling him what a good leader he is. And it made Scandrick look terrible. I remember at the time, like, dude, I am not being. What are they holding back from me? Because I said all sorts of crap during the game.
My dream, Jason, is to get into NFL film someday.
Oh, they got it.
Where no one else is around and just go through the frickin' vault.
They got a whole catalog. There's tons of interesting stuff if they ever want to release that.
I want the LT stuff off the record from the 80s.
Exactly.
I want that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's 94 WIP. WIP HD1 Philadelphia as we broadcast today from the Tasty Cake studio. Jason with us for about an hour in studio as we gear up for the Eagles and the Rams. We're also, of course, gearing up for the baseball playoffs. The Phils will start in about a week and a half. Phils lost last night. It's okay. Took 2 or 3 from the Dodgers, which was a good job by the Phils. On to the next series, and obviously the Phils in a great spot for the 2 seed. Unfortunately, the Brewers did win last night, so that is a setback for the quest for the 1 seed, but the Phils still in a great spot to get to 2 seed. All right, you know the Eagles-Rams coming up. You know, on tomorrow's show at 8 o'clock, we give away tickets to the Eagles-Rams game. But in order to win those tickets, you got to know the name we say today. So let's roll it.
And the name is...
All right, the name is, and I told you, these are all Eagles-Rams related names. The name is Jason Kelce. And let me tell you why. Because my eyes...
Here?
No, well, sort of. Because my eyes saw Hall of Famer Jason Kelce against Hall of Famer Aaron Donald. And my eyes told me Jason Kelce kicked his ass a lot.
Jesus.
Jason.
This is so wrong.
Facts are facts.
Never had a sack against you guys.
Facts are facts, sir.
Uh-oh.
Jason, I mean it.
Wait,
I mean,
are these inaccurate facts, Jason?
They're misleading facts. Is what
Are
they
you just being humble?
maybe a little double team.
I blocked Aaron Donald one-on-one maybe 5 times in my entire career.
So he was always accounted for in special ways.
I do think me making calls and navigating where he's at and doing things throughout the week to prepare for him, I do think I deserve credit for some of those things that took place. But as far as like me lining up at guard and the slide going away and being man with Aaron Donald, that did not happen to any significant degree, no.
Well, I will say this, you guys, the collective, you handled them. I mean, seriously, like, because look, I think you guys, I think the Rams beat you, I think in the COVID year, early, I think.
I think.
But 2018 out there, 2019 out
here. We had their number for the most part.
Yeah, the Carson game, obviously, they won that game.
Carson game.
It's one of the reasons why I think in 2018, if we beat the Saints, like if Alshon catches that ball, I think we're back in the Super Bowl. I just think we matched up really well with the Rams. I think that we had a great plan. Their best player defensively was a reason they were very good. He would ruin games, and I just don't think enough teams changed what they did for him. Like, it was mind-blowing watching tape. And it's like, oh, the back's over here and the center's sliding away every single time. Like, what are you guys thinking? You're giving him an opportunity to ruin all of your plays. It just made no sense.
He was great. I mean,
he was phenomenal.
Yeah,
he was the best. He was the best and most dominant and most ferocious. And that's like, Myles Garrett, I think, talent-wise, is probably the best defensive lineman I've ever seen.
Wow.
Aaron Donald, he had the talent, but there was a ferocious, like relentless nature to the way he played football that just made him so much even better than his talent was at. And it was all those things combined that just was like, man, this guy was like feared. There weren't many guys on the defensive side that were like, people were afraid to play him. Aaron Donald was one of those guys.
Wow.
That's something.
He seems like such a nice guy, too, as a person.
Yeah, let me tell you, he ain't nice on the phone. Not one bit of it's nice on the phone. And he's mad at me. He's like, like, why are you, stop sliding, stop helping this guy. I'm like, Aaron, you're the best player in the world.
Well, James, I can tell you, I sat next to him at a banquet. When he was coming out of Pitt, I thought he was...
He's always seemed like such a great guy.
I loved him.
That's so funny.
Yeah, before he played in a game in the pros, and I thought he was a great guy. All right, so know the 3 names we've given you so far. Jason is one of them. We've given you 2 running backs this week. Know those 3 names and the one more we give you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And spread the word to your family and friends. And with the 4 names, you can win the tickets for the Eagles-Rams game.
Courtesy of NovaCare Rehabilitation, the power of physical therapy.
All right, John, I've been holding this audio, Gruden, for you and for Jason. So, Grew Dog unleashed yesterday on the Tush Push, but not anti-Tush Push.
I saw this.
Very.
I believe did he have a Harold Carmichael jersey on while he was doing it?
He had
It was somebody. It was a throwback.
He had a
It was Jaws. It was Jaws. Okay.
Because they were partners in the Monday Night Football booth.
Makes sense.
And they're
Makes
good
sense.
friends.
This is
so,
great.
Grew Dog is very pro-Tush Push.
Of course.
Very pro-Eagles. And very anti- the naysayers, which I would be one of them, but we won't go there now. All right. We're going to break this audio up into 2 parts. Let's just get the introductory part. Gruden's just starting to get it revved up. Let's listen to Grew Dog.
The hardest yard to get is the yard you need. 3rd and 1. 4th and 1 at the goal line. And I've heard a lot about this tush push. We need to get rid of the tush push. We need to outlaw the Tush Push. Hey, just because you run the Tush Push, there's no guarantee you get the yard. I mean, here's the Cleveland Browns running a Tush Push. And the only guy that got his Tush Push was the freaking quarterback. Here's another one. The New York Giants running a Tush Push. On Monday Night Football, they get stuffed.
All right, so he's just revving up, right?
For sure.
He's right, and John. You know, this is your guy, John.
He's so entertaining.
I'm telling you, this is partly why his teams had success, because like you're not falling asleep in the meeting that Gru is in charge of. And he was the offensive coordinator. So he's the head coach. He's also the play caller, the offensive coordinator. He's doing the install. He's the installer of every single play.
A little different than Brad Childress. A little different.
Yes.
I think
the history professor.
It was the perfect guy to pick there.
It's really a shame they didn't have this sideline reporter that they're doing in the NBA down in the field with John Gruden.
Exactly.
All right, so Gruden's on a roll. He's let it out there. You know where he's going with this. But he brings it home really strong. For those that are pro Tush Push, which is like 99% of our listeners, you're going to love this. Here's Gruden yesterday.
Just because you run the play doesn't mean you get the yard. There's no reason to outlaw it. Why don't you get some bigger defensive linemen with better pad level? You can't send out a bunch of pass rush specialists. You got to improve your roster. You got to improve your short yardage defense. Hell, why don't they just outlaw the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line? Lane Johnson, out. Mailata, out. You ever seen Mailata? I have a picture next to the guy. He's like a freaking oak tree. Get rid of Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson. Mekhi Becton, I know you're in Charger land, but good God. Now they got Steen in there at right guard. Why don't we outlaw the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line? Get your pads down, get shoe to shoe, and earn that yard. Or take that yard away. Do something, but quit complaining.
Oh my God,
How great is that?
I'm telling you, man.
How good is that?
Think about this.
That audio courtesy of Barstool. How good is that?
Think about like that. That is what I heard the day I just gotten a cell phone. I'd never had a cell phone before. They told me, okay, prior to the NFL draft, get a cell phone at Radio Shack.
Yeah.
I get this cell phone. I'm at Blockbuster Video. That cell phone rings. This woman comes on and says, "Hey, Coach Gruden wants to talk to you." I had no idea who Coach Gruden was, but that voice, that man, that craziness gets on the phone. I'm in Blockbuster. He's like, "You ready to bring the juice, Ritchie, or what? Come on down to Oakland. Come across the peninsula. I'm going to come get you. I bet you're out there wearing a rope chain in your backyard, sunning with a towel around your waist. Well, it's even better than that, Ritchie. Come on up the peninsula." And I had no idea who this was. I had no idea what was going on. I thought this was a prank. I thought this. Come on. Okay, what's the name of this person again? Sure. I had no clue. So again, after the conversation was over, I did not know that I had been drafted.
Well, you were first pick in the third round, right? Is that what it was?
No, I was
end of the second, right? Was it?
Well, I was 63rd.
So first pick in the third round.
No, back then
like third pick or something.
Second pick of the third round.
Second pick of the third round. All right.
Because there were less teams.
So, Jason, here's one thing that I think the Gruden thing helps. The Eagles' quest to keep the Tush Push. That kind of commentary.
I hope.
That kind of listen. It's probably gonna come up again. But the people like Gruden that say to the world, stop it or do it. I think that does help because let's put it this way: the last 72 hours, 4 days times 24 is.
Yeah, if you look at
it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good for the Eagles, PR wise.
Yeah,
but pushback like that it's going to take another campaign probably.
I think the play's done. I think that the play was going to be done last year. I think that there's a lot of people within the league at multiple levels that want the play to be gone, which is fine. I think we'll still go back to running quarterback sneak, and I'm sure they'll figure out ways to be successful. I'm not really that concerned with it, to be very candid. I think that, he brings up a number of great points. I mean, the reality is the Eagles are the only team that run this at a competitive advantage. Every other team that tries this does not have the statistical evidence to suggest that there is a major competitive advantage. So if that's the reason you want to outlaw it, where is the data that everybody else is getting this at a high percentage? It's not out there.
No.
And then if, again, the pushing the runner is the one argument that I can understand if that is a viewpoint. My argument to that is that the defensive line, I mean, they can gang tackle, they can push each other on top of a running back. Like, why can't I assist my guy? So I think that there's an argument to be had there, and that'll fall wherever it does. I think that the health thing, I understand the optics of it, but I just, again, as someone who ran the play, I do not think it exposes you at much risk because there's not enough momentum. Everybody knows what's coming. There's no surprise. Nobody's going to be. I actually think you are higher to get hurt as an offensive lineman, especially on a regular short yardage play. On power, I block down on a nose guard and they kill a 3 technique who lands into my knee while I'm standing there. I've seen that happen all the time. I have never seen an offensive lineman blow a knee out on quarterback sneak. I don't think it's even. I don't even know if it. I mean, listen, it's
theoretically possible.
Could happen,
but unlikely. Yeah.
I don't think that the health stuff. I think is a lot more optics than it is in reality, and the statistics back that up. So.
But you do think it's going to be gone?
Yeah, I think that enough people want it gone, and enough people in important places want it gone. And I think that I don't care particularly. I think it's kind of cool to run a play that they just get rid of for not a lot of really very good reasons. And I think that the Eagles are still going to run the quarterback sneak at a very high level. I think there's ways to, adjust moving forward when that inevitability probably does happen. But I do think for the rest of the year, the Eagles need to be very careful. They're going to be under a microscope, highly scrutinized, and staying out of the neutral zone and timing the snap count a little bit closer to the snap will be much better PR for the remainder of the season. And also, I think that they'll still get the first down, so just do it that way.
This neutral zone stuff, like, holy cow, if they really start calling this tight, it's going to change things. I mean,
I've been yelling at
a game or two, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't think it'll change anything because I think the Eagles will still get the first down even if they're out of the neutral zone. I think the D-line can be in the neutral zone. I think it's still going to be a 90+% success rate. I don't think enough teams are dedicated enough to stopping it and allocating enough time, thought, and effort into it. And the Eagles have, at this point, most of the guys on that line, including the quarterback, I don't think people realize how much of an advantage it is that they have run this over 100 times at this point. Mm-hmm. How many times does a defensive line face quarterback sneak throughout a season? Like 20 maybe even less than that. Like the Eagles rep count and experience in this play, and I know it doesn't feel like it's that convoluted, and it's not, but that adds up, man, and they have the players to do it. I still think it's going to be executed very highly. So, yeah, I think, and again, I do think it will go eventually, and I think that the Eagles will go back to running regular quarterback sneaks, at which we were still 92% effective. Yeah. So I just, ban it. I really do not care at this point. I'm very tired about talking about it and having to refute points that I think don't make a lot of sense logically, and it's just people grasping at straws. And yeah, that's about all I got.
There he is. He ends it with, yep, that's about all I got. Jason, very good stuff. All right, more up ahead with Jason, including Nick Sirianni. We got the audio of Sirianni in the locker room addressing the guys after that victory on Sunday. We haven't even played it yet as a show, so we'll get to that. Also, the Eagles-Rams. We'll preview that game and more. Joe DeCamara and John Ritchie.
Yeah.
And then a reporter who had access to that team is going to say, let me tell you what I know.
Yeah.
And it's going to be based on things they saw in a huddle, which they really aren't really supposed to report on.
Yeah, but it's human nature.
It is, yeah. But then the Players Association is going to be like, what the hell, man? And then away you go. So
no, 100% that's going to happen. I mean, yeah, they're going to find a way to say it, and they're going to use unnamed sources or whatever, and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, it's for sure. I mean, if you get a juicy piece of information as one of these reporters and you can have the ability to release that and get it to be a huge story, I mean, that's going to happen for sure.
Speaking of juicy piece of information.
Hey.
Seltzer and Ray.
Yes.
Jason's career. What topic do we really want to know about? I want to know about Howie versus Chip.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Remember when they all started firing? This guy got fired. That guy got fired. He's like, I'll fire your guy. I'll fire your guy.
Escorting people out of the building, remember?
That was unbelievable.
That was, I just remember when he got fired. we were on vacation.
Which one, by the way? Chip?
Chip, when Chip got fired, because we were on vacation Christmas week.
Tuesday.
Jason, I was literally going out for because my birthday is December 29th. I'm on my way out to dinner, and I get a phone call, and I go, if I don't tell Angelo, he's going to kill me.
Yeah.
And if I tell him, I'm not off tomorrow. So I had to call him, and he goes, we're going in. And I'm like, oh.
Of course.
Ruined Christmas week.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Justin in Tennessee. Justin, good morning.
What's happening, ladies and fellers? How y'all doing this morning?
What's up, Justin?
Are you from
Boston? Tennessee.
East Tennessee. I'm going through God's country right now, y'all. I'm going by Neyland Stadium down here in Knoxville, so headed to a doctor's appointment.
By the way, brutal loss for the Vols the other day against Georgia. Holy mackerel.
Let me tell you,
boys, holy mackerel.
That was rougher than a night in jail going through that, and good Lord, boys, it was tough.
Just make the kick.
Oh, exactly.
It looked to me like the holder. It didn't have laces out, but that's just what I observed.
And Finkel was Einhorn.
That's what I saw.
That poor boy wasn't making it. They kept showing him on the sideline, and his eyes was bigger than a moon pie. I'm telling you right now, he was nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But anyway, hearing John Gruden talk about the Tush Push, man, that just blesses my heart. I mean, it tickles me to death. If you can't, just line up and stop it. Seeing that video of Chris Jones yesterday, just crying like a 5-year-old that put his pants on the playground, it just blesses me, guys. I love it. And just wear them out with it. I hope when we play Green Bay, we have to run it 10 times and run it down their dadgum throats. It is a football play. And hearing like Schefter, this play was lost in March. My red hiney, it was lost in March. It was lost in the game. It was not lost in March.
So, Justin, hold on. I retort that. I don't agree.
Justin, are you a real person?
Yes,
you feel like a comedy writer, like enacting somebody from Tennessee. This doesn't even feel real to me.
A caricature.
It's so.
James Seltzer and Rhea have met me, and John has met me. I've not had the pleasure to meet John because when I was up there, John was on vacation. But I'm a real person. I'm a diehard Eagles fan, and Jason, you are my second all-time favorite Eagle, right behind Brian Dawkins. You are my second, and it is my life's mission to hopefully one day get to meet you. But anyway,
I want you now.
Long story short, well, Rhea, I'm coming to the Broncos game thanks to a guy that you tailgate next to, Matt Gorham, Rhea. So I will be at the tailgate for the Broncos game. Can't wait to see you.
We're gonna have a good time.
Oh, it's gonna be a blast. But I'm telling y'all, if I was any better right now, they'd be two of me.
Oh, look at that. All right, Justin, you can win the Adam Sandler tickets and my book, The Best of Philly Sports, which is available right now on Amazon. You got to give us the best answer for what is satisfying.
Well, I can't do the Sandler tickets, but what's most satisfying for me when that gun 5:30 bell goes off and I get to leave work and go home, y'all.
Yeah,
good answer.
Quitting time is a good. Yeah. You get to the end of the day. That is a nice feeling right there. All right, coming up in a minute, we're going to get Jason's breakdown of the Eagles and the Rams. Eagles and Rams renewing
hostility,
kind of a rivalry.
Well, they played them twice last year.
Yeah,
but you look at it. What's his name? Saquon had like 455 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2 games,
including the receiving.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I mean, it kind of is like the Doug McVay stuff. Remember that? Yeah, there's something there more than a outer conference.
I'm still ticked about the loss in '89 in the playoff game, but that's a whole nother matter. All right, coming up in a minute, Jason on the Eagles and the Rams renewing it again. That's up ahead in 60 seconds. Hey, let me tell you about PI Dental Center. With their decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient at PI Dental now for 2 decades. My mom a patient there for 3 decades with Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough. Sensational with what they do. Both board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and the replacement of teeth. PI Dental Center are the originators of the teeth in a day. That's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere 1 day. Let me make this all real simple for you. If you got good teeth, good for you. Awesome. Keep it that way. Get to PI Dental Center for year-to-year maintenance. If you got bad teeth, major issue, that's unfortunate. Get to PI Dental Center. They can fix you up. Start with their website, pidentalcenter.com. Make sure you visit pidentalcenter.com to request your new patient evaluation. So, Jason, the Eagles and Rams, closest playoff game last year by far.
Yeah, and if I'm being honest, I think the snow helped the Eagles more than it did the Rams. I mean, it worked much more to our favor than if it would have been a non-weather game. I mean, I really I thought the Eagles matched up really well with them last year. I know the Rams have a really good defensive line. I think our offensive line is the best in the NFL. And to their credit, and Jared Verse was talking all sorts of stuff coming into it, being from the area. He was geared up, and he came to play, man. And this is a hard fighting team. Matthew Stafford has chronically been one of the most underrated quarterbacks, in my opinion, throughout his career in the NFL. He can sling it, and their offense right now is coming. They're throwing the ball very well. So this is going to be a very difficult matchup. The Eagles are going to have to play better than they played the last 2 weeks. It'll be a fun one to watch.
Tell us about Jared Verse.
Yeah.
How good is he? How does he match up? Who does he compare to? We hear about him. We know he's young and talented. But who's he like?
He's very talented. He's still developing, I would say, a variety of moves. He is a speed to power all day guy. Honestly, not unsimilar to like Brandon Graham. I mean, a different like structure and makeup to him. But he's
longer than Brandon.
Yeah, he's taller. He's not the same stature, but he is gonna push upfield and come right down the middle of your chest. Very Kevin Green-like with a lot of power. And fortunately for us, we have one of the best guys against power in the NFL in Jordan Mailata, who's probably going to be the main guy he's up against. And Lane is also very good against it. But you know, he got Jordan one time very good in this last playoff game. Caught him a little bit. Crossing over with his feet, and you know, you don't have to be very big to catch somebody in the right moment, but he's a very good player. And it's not even just him. Byron Young, number 0 for he moves all over the place. They'll run games. They do a phenomenal job of straight rushing with Jared Verse, and then they run games between Fisk, Byron Young, and some of the other guys they have to a really good extent. I mean, this is a very good, coordinated, well-coached pass rush.
Does Devontae Adams make them better than last year?
For sure. Of course.
I mean, because they lost some people, you gained some people, but I've heard many people say
it's a
they net out better.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a net gain. And I mean, listen, Puka is the guy, but and Devontae isn't, what he used to be, but he's still a phenomenal receiver. And in this offense with McVay and the motions and the way they scheme guys open and the way the ball comes out, like, listen, I think if we can stop the run, the key to any of these run and play actions, in my opinion, is shutting down the run and making them be a drop back offense team. If you shut down the run and can mitigate some of these big plays down the field, it takes away the run and play action, especially if you can get up some scores. If they have to be a drop back team, I think that Jalen Carter and the interior line and these guys will get home enough. This offensive line is good at what they're asked to do under McVay, but if they had to be, 6 and 5 man protection all day, it's going to be a really rough night for them trying to block Jalen Carter. But they're very good, very, very good.
All right, Jason Kelce with us as he is every Thursday. Final thing here, Jason, is I know you enjoying the Monday Night Football thing again?
Listen, I get paid to talk about football, so it is. It's crazy that I just feel very blessed and very fortunate to be able to play 13 years in the NFL and then continue to be involved in the sport and talk about it in a meaningful way. And now, obviously, I still miss playing, but if I don't get to play, I still get to go to game day. I still get to see coaches and players, interact with fans, and offer my perspective on the game. And I consider myself extremely blessed to be able to do that. So, awesome. Absolutely, I'm loving it. I'm still learning, still trying to get better, and it's definitely something that I don't take for granted.
Good, man.
Yeah.
And I know you don't have the competition thing as much. Just remember, you got a job next spring, and that's with the competition committee and the owners. You got one more round.
I would be shocked if I'm allowed back into that room.
Not this again.
Yeah, no, I think,
one more.
Yeah, there might be another rule of having nobody outside of owners at those meetings. But yeah. We'll see.
Jason, stay well, man. Have a good trip Monday Night Football, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he is, Jason Kelce, and, of course, Garage Beer, Jason's beer.